Don't worry, she's going to lose. Anyway, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for joining us. Listen, we're at a very unconscionable time in our republic. Never has the chief executive mandated that people in our country must be injected with something in such a short amount of time. This has never occurred. Right now, we have people who are working on the front lines who are going to lose their jobs because they are making the decision not to take a vaccine. Think about this for a moment. You're talking about in our hospitals where you're going to have nurses who are going to be fired simply because they chose not to take a vaccine. How are these hospital systems actually supposed to work if they lose 10 to 20% of their workforce? What's actually going to happen to the people who are going to visit our hospitals who may need help associated with COVID-19 or any other health issues if our hospital systems simply do not have the staffing levels because of what this president did? Because frankly, he's flailing. He has no plan. He's never had a plan. And what he's trying to do is to dictate his desires on the American people. I stand with Governor DeSantis, and I stand with the members of the Florida legislature, my former colleagues, standing up to these ridiculous mandates, which fly in the face of freedom, they fly in the face of liberty, they have no place in our government, they have no place in our society. And for the people who would say that we have to save lives, I will tell you this. The number one thing we must always protect is your ability to choose what you do with your own health care. We have HIPAA laws in this country. With HIPAA laws in this country, no employer is actually allowed to ask you what's going on with your medical condition. But because of Joe Biden and his reckless dictatorial mandates coming out of this administration, he wants to now tell employers to do his dirty work for them. This OSHA rule hasn't even been written yet, even though he threw it out there. He wants to find companies in the midst of an economy that's actually going down fast, where inflation is rampant, where our supply chains are overrun and they're not functioning. And yet he wants to bring in unconscionable mandates that are going to cost business owners tens of thousands of dollars per occurrence by allowing business owners to make responsible decisions. We've done it while providing people information. We've done it by actually bringing forward treatments like Regeneron, something that the federal government and Joe Biden didn't even know existed until Ron DeSantis employed it in Florida. We employed it in 22 clinics throughout our state. It has worked wonders. It worked so well that the Biden administration had to pull back Regeneron from the great state of Florida because they didn't want Ron DeSantis to be right again. But what you've seen in Florida is that our case rates have dropped dramatically. If you look at our state per capita, we're in the middle of the country with respect to cases and hospitalizations. We've worked wonders by trusting our people, not trusting politicians to make political decisions instead of making scientific decisions. So the facts are clear. We stand in opposition to these mandates. It is reckless. It's obscene. It should never happen in a free society. And the number one thing we want to tell all of you today is that Governor DeSantis has proven once again, Republican or Democrat, whether you're liberal, conservative, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're black or white, he stands to protect your freedoms. And the only person in this country who seeks to remove your freedom is the current president of the United States, who's too busy worrying about some deal he can take to Glasgow, Scotland, as opposed to standing up and doing his job, which is protecting the liberties of all people in these United States. It should never be allowed to happen. We stand with Governor DeSantis. We stand with the actions that will come from Florida's legislature, and we will prove again that Florida is not only the best state in the country, it is the freest state in the country, and that is why people from all over America have moved to Florida over the last 18 months.
You lie, people die. You lie.